episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth now. Before we get into the episode for today, I wanted to go over a couple of things. Firstly, I was asked about Torquay United. Someone wanted to see how Torquay were doing, so basically I'm just going to quickly show you. It's a strange question. Well, I suppose if it's your team. So we're just going to take a quick look. I'm not going to dwell on it for too long just because, you know, we can't. But basically, they stayed in the conference since the start of this day. They also got relegated, in fact, to the conference north. Well, I don't know which one it was actually that they were in, but last year they won conference north-south. Don't know which one it was because they don't actually have those leagues loaded. So yeah, they're back up in the conference again this year. So there's that. There you go, guys. Right, let's see. This month, it's been a difficult one because we've had some games that I would have... you'll see what I mean when we get into things. So in the last episode, we played against Stoke City, and we actually did manage to win 2-0, and it was a spectacularly good win for me because it really did just sort of reinforce the strength that we actually do have as a team. That meant that coming into today's game against the next game against West Ham, we could come in with some real confidence, and we played with real confidence, and that's the kind of thing I need to see more of. It's unusual for us to play as well as this, in fact, in away games, but we played with the standard system that we always use, and things just seemed to go well for us. There's no denying it. We were just great. We started off a little bit lucky here. Masonda's free kick, and it ricochets around on the line, and Millington was able to slide it into the net for his 22nd goal of the season. He's just continuing to be brilliant. I have tried Ali Burrell a few times this month up top with Millington. You'll see what I mean in a second. So just after half time, just some lovely footwork. In terms of the passing, some of the passing we were putting on against West Ham was genuinely very, very good. Not particularly there, I don't think, but some of the nice little one-touch stuff where we're just moving it around really nicely. In the end, Gomez drops it through here. Lucarelli, who's been getting some good game time this month, made it 2-0 and pretty much wrapped up the game for us there. Now, that didn't mean that we didn't have time for one more little flourish, and that's exactly what we did. Charlie Musonda, good strike, bounces back, and Borja Gomez is in there to score, well, quite a rare goal for him, only his second of the season, but that's not really what he's in the team for. He's a creative type of player, and that gave us a 3-0 win away. We did get Jack Watmore sent off late on, which was a little bit disappointing. Could have done without that. Robert Gray picked up a slight knock, but nothing too serious. In our next game was the first game where I tried playing two strikers. And, wow. I got to tell you guys, it was a success. Albeit against Blackpool. We played our two striker system, and I was pretty damn pleased with it. We created a lot of chances, and there was some lovely work between the two of them. It is nice to see both Burrell and Millington starting. Of course, it is against Blackpool, so you've got to take that with a pinch of salt, really. But I have decided that it is going to be our cup system. So this is great. Well, Millington down the wing there, drops it in, and Burrell, we would never have been able to pull off a goal like that with our one striker system. That's what I would say. So 1-0 after 20 minutes there. Ali Burrell with only his second of the season. But it's good to see him getting on the score sheet, frankly. Then on the half an hour, I mean, this game was a complete whitewash for us, you know. 5 clear-cut chances to nothing, just a domination in terms of shots. And, of course, on the scoreline, that actually showed it. It was a really good FA Cup game. Ball around the corner here. Millington, instead of that, just drops it back for Wallace, drops it across the box, and Musonda with the header. Some really good football. We also need to talk about Kieran Griffiths after this, but I will get into that in a second. So that was 2-0 after 30 minutes, and then things didn't really get any better for them. We were very, very good. Playing our little back three with Francois in there. It was Francois, Lopez Souza, and Robert Gray, I think, today, but I have tried it out with Dylan Verstraeten as well. What a ball that is. McAvoy out wide, of course, filling in for Santos for a day, and ball in here. Burrell knocks it short, and Norman Millington, who else, with his 23rd goal of the season, just continuing to rack those goals up. He's been superb, and he's just not stopped being good this season. And then we sort of just after half-time, a little bit unlucky here for them, and Francois was able to sneak in there and make it 4-0. Very, very comfortable performance, although it's, you know, the system needed to be tested against a better side, basically, because it's all very well beating Blackpool 4-0, but you need to see if you can beat someone better. In our next game, we were at home against Norwich, and I did resort back to our more familiar system, basically, with the one defensive midfielder, and we were absolutely dominant over Norwich, and I would have been so gutted had this game gone the way it was going to go, because Norwich had chances in this game. I'm not sure they even had... No, they didn't even have a single clear-cut chance in this game. And considering how good Norwich have been over the last couple of years, I figured, you know, the chances are we could probably beat them. But when this happened, and we went 1-0 down after just 6 minutes, I thought, uh-oh, this is not going to be our day. Because it comes here and you just think, goalkeeper should be doing better. But once Mathieu Gareth Matia put them in front, you just know what's going to happen, or you think you do. But then, in fact, we managed to, albeit slowly, it took a little time. So Santos here playing it short, very, very muddy again. Lovely little ball out wide to Marcelo, whipped in, cleared away again. We essentially broke them down over sort of the course of this game and just did enough to get the 2 goals, basically. Borja Gomez outside, Santos bringing it in field, eventually loses the ball, which is disappointing. But when you look at the amount of shots and chances we had in this game, we should have won it by an absolute mile, but we didn't. But the main thing was we got the win, and that is always massively important. Santos running away with it, whipping it into the box, and it's once again going to be caught by John Ruddy. I don't know why this highlight is so long. That just seems to be one of those things that's happening lately. Ruddy plays the ball long, Marcelo brings it down, whips it over the top, and there's Norman Millington running through, and a great finish from him. Terrible defending from Norwich to allow him that kind of space. 24th goal of the season for Norman Millington, and you might notice that he is now Lord Norman Millington. Well, we felt that with the way he's played this year, he deserved an upgrade. He's not quite a king yet, but my God, is he close. Then on 88 minutes, he's saved us a couple of times this year. He's popped up with some very important goals, almost Kieran Griffiths-esque. Milton Peralta, Porno Stash, my hero, pops in here, turns around the corner, and that is 2-1 to us. And bloody deserved as well. Only his 4th goal of the season, but he doesn't half pop up with some important goals. That one away at Fulham was just as important as this one. So very important to have him on the team. And get the 3 points, of course. So 2-1 win to us there. In our next game, we had Arsenal in the FA Cup, and I decided it was about time we tried out our 2-striker system against a proper good opposition, albeit, you know, Arsenal in the Cup, but they still had a bloody good team out. And this is what happened. I'm confident in it. Let's just see. Confident. We weren't too great in possession in this game, which was a little bit worrying, but Arsenal, of course, are a very possession-based team, so I'll let that one go. It took till the half an hour mark with, again, playing the back three, but Dylan Verstraeten started this one for us. But look, this is the sort of play that we can come up with now that we would never have been able to do before, with those extra man up the top. Gomez's ball through. Burrell will spread it out wide this time for Jed Wallace, whose cross is just going to be played to the other winger, Santos, running in at the back post to make it 1-0 to us with his 5th goal of the season. We can now play winger to winger, basically, and we weren't quite doing that before, but now we are. 65 minutes then, the game got even better for us. Ali Burrell drops it into Norman Millington here, who dispatches a wonderful effort. Why, who else really? I think he scored in every game this month, his 25th goal of the season. I'm pretty certain he has scored in every game. Oh no, except for the last game of the month. He's scored in every single game this month so far, which has been superb. So 2-0 up. And we were dominated at that point. But then Arsenal did start to come at us a little bit. I have to say, they did start to build a little bit of a head of steam. And unfortunately, we couldn't do enough to stop them from getting a goal back. Some of our possession and passing went a little bit astray. De Bruyne was great, Lukaku looked good, and unfortunately we let a little bit too much space here, lost his marker here, and Kieran Watson was able to make it 2-1. Still, and then they did actually put a lot of pressure on us for the last few minutes, but thankfully we did manage to alleviate that pressure in the last few seconds of the game, really. From another set piece here, Worley this time dropping it short from Musonda. Some nice play here. Ball comes down, Ivancic, so much composure, and eventually smashes it in the net for 3-1. And that puts us through to the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time in a couple of seasons. But unfortunately, even though there's still loads of League One clubs in the tournament left, of course we've been drawn against Chelsea, so I don't see any cup success coming anytime soon, guys, because as much as Chelsea finished below us in the league the last couple of seasons, well, last year and currently this year, they'll still beat us, because that's just what happens when you play the big sides, as we found out in the next game when we travelled to Old Trafford to play Manchester United. And now, I don't think this was quite a 5-0. Like, they had a lot of clear-cut chances, but to be fair, 3 of those clear-cut chances were in one of their goals when it sort of ricocheted around. We had quite decent... I mean, this was the first goal, just a free kick, and it's just like, well... I don't know how you can defend against that, apart from not giving it away, but then, you know... Then... What happens a couple of minutes later, the game was pretty much dead at this point because of, well, this long shot from Memphis Depay. I think it was Memphis Depay. We just couldn't get near them. Like, the players just seem slower. Look at this. Januzaj comes back here. Like, why is no one challenging for the ball? No one just seemed to... The tactic is the same. There we go. Finally a tackle was put in, but... I don't know, the passing just seemed off. Like, what is that? I don't understand why we get worse against bigger sides. It doesn't make any sense, because that's not tactically. That's just, why can't he play a pass all of a sudden? He plays those passes all the time. So it was a little bit disappointing, and it just seems that against Man United and Man City nowadays, you can't get anywhere near them. They just smash you no matter what you do. Depay, look, just keeps on running. Nobody's able to tackle him, and then just pops it in the net. It wasn't even that powerful, but ball on the back of the net. And that's all you can really hope for if you're Man United at this point. Then, just before half-time, the game was completely killed off at this point. We were not good on the night, but I don't think we were 5-0 bad at times. Like those, they hadn't had a clear-cut chance at this up until 40 minutes of the game. Sanabrius played through, and Vega, well, you know, just tap it in your own net, of course. When it isn't going to go right for you, it's not going to go right for you, basically. And I did try to step it up a notch. I actually switched to our 2-striker system at half-time just to see what we could come up with, and we did actually have some decent chances. But, of course, you know, they were all fluffed over the bar because it's Man United away. And then look at, he just stepped over the ball, even though it's right there, and Sanabria off the crossbar, and Depay puts it in. I mean, I don't understand what he's even playing at. He just walked over the ball. Like, there's no excuse for that. It's not an interception, he's just walked over it. It's ridiculous when that shit happens. And that, of course, made it 4-0. And I only ever see that one against the big sides, and it's so annoying. So, 4-0 at this point, and of course, Man United had one more sting in the tail. Lamela, look, just allowed to just somehow walk through every single player in our team here and fire it into the bottom corner. It's United. So we're going to have to write that one off. Shame about the amount of goals we conceded. That was disappointing from my point of view. And today we were up against Chelsea, and I really don't think we're that confident going into this one, but Chelsea are not exactly good either. Marcelo has a fractured arm, which is very poor for us. But we are still third in the league at the moment. 4 points ahead of Stoke, and 5 ahead of Tottenham, 5 points ahead of Tottenham, but we could extend that up to 8 if we were to somehow beat Chelsea today, which seems a little unlikely, but you never know. But you look at Manchester City and Man United, they are literally running away with this league at the moment. There's 14 games left, and they've both got more than 70 goals. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them got like 110, 115 goals each. Both of their goal differences could be like in the 80s by the time this season finishes, and it's starting to get ridiculous now. I don't think we're ever going to win the league in this save, no matter how good we do, because Man United and Man City just seem to have this extra thing that you cannot break the hold of at the moment. So obviously that wasn't the original plan. The original plan is to win the Champions League, and I think that's the only hope we've got, unless of course we end up having to play one of those two in the Champions League as well. So, right, let's move on and take a little look at the squad for this month. Top goal scorer for us, of course, is Norman Millington with 25, followed by Jed Wallace with 8. Millington is the man, basically. Assist-wise, Santos has 11 and Musonda has 8. Millington himself has, 10 from Musonda, 8 for Millington, which is also excellent. Man of the match, Santos and Jed Wallace with 5 apiece. Yellow cards, Ivancic with 8. Red cards, Ivancic and Watmore and Marcelo have 1 each. Interceptions, Robert Gray right up there, but, you know, Pedro Miguel Lopez Sousa is also on the charts. In terms of key passes, Santos with 97. When you compare that to Jed Wallace with 20, like playing the same position. So that's less good. But Musonda's got plenty as well, which is decent to see. What else we got here? We've got games won ratio. Let's just see. Wally's done quite well. Lucas Vega, 71% of games he started, we've won, which is decent, and that shows he is doing an alright job in goal, I have to say. Key tackles, Lopez Sousa by a mile. Key aerial challenges, there's no question there. And of course the most mistakes is Ivancic, which is a shame, but then that position just seems to be liable for that kind of thing. Right, let's get into the game today. It's against Chelsea. Oh my goodness me. That is a very bizarre system. Basically 3-5-2 is very similar to the style that we have in our 3-5-2, but I don't really know how to play against it. I think we're going to go with our normal home formation. I've never seen them play this system before. It's a strange one. I think we're going to go with this one here. But we're going to go on we're already on standard, what we're talking about. So Millington, Santos, Musonda, Wallace, Gomez, Ivancic, Taylor, Gray, Lopez Sousa and Yanko. The only sort of weak point probably is Yanko, although that being said, he's still better than Taylor. But he's just been kept out a lot of the time by Marcelo, so who knows? The bench is pretty strong though, with Martinez, Francois Peralta, Borrell, Verstraeten, who's actually had a couple of games now and has done well in them, Lucarelli and Worley. So that is good. As for Kieran Griffiths, I've had a lot of feedback from you guys about what I said about him in an episode that went out on Sunday. Basically talking about how I just feel we should move him on, and I am leaning towards doing that now. He's injured at the moment, so we can't try and get rid of him now because we'll get such a terrible price. But I'm thinking in the summer, it might be the time for him to move, because we are going to need to look for someone else in that position. So my shopping list in the summer is a left-back, defensive midfielder, and attacking midfielder, and maybe a half-decent backup left winger as well. That's sort of where I'm looking. Maybe even another striker if I can pick one up that's really young, but with a lot of potential, so I don't have to spend too much money on him. Someone to come through and sort of be the understudy to Millington and Burrell, just to give us a little bit more support in that road when we do play the two-striker system. So let's get into this then. Against Chelsea, at Fratton Park. I mean, Chelsea in the league by 12 points. We do have a game over them, but even so, that's a big lead. But that doesn't mean that they're not just going to come here and absolutely obliterate us, because they're still Chelsea as far as the game's concerned. We have beaten them before, but we've certainly never dominated them in any way. So there, they are actually playing the system that my scouted, which is good to see. Staphylidis and Azpilicueta are actually playing in midfield. That's not wing-backs. They are literally midfielders in this role. I'm pretty certain of it. So that could be interesting. We do have to watch out for Azpilicueta's long throws. But we'll do our best. I still think that we're going to get absolutely done in this game, though. And it's disappointing. I'd just like for once to have a game against a big side where it's sort of even, or if we play better, we're actually going to go and win. But I just can't see it happening. Right, let's go into this. Let's get going. Just Diego Costa, wow. Still at Chelsea. Is that a different Diego Costa? I don't know. So, here we go. Oh, I just want to see something out of us, you know. We've not had the best luck against the big sides this season. Last year we got a lot of it, so I guess it's sort of coming back towards us. Wallace now infield. It's Ivancic. It's 1-0 Portsmouth. That is the perfect start to this game. Tony Ivancic. He's got 2 in 2 now. For a defensive midfielder, he does actually pop up with quite a few goals. That's his 4th of the season, I think. This would be a huge win for us because it would put us 15 points clear of Chelsea in the league. Lovely little play from Wallace here, outside of the foot, and Ivancic just nods that into the back of the net, and what a start. We've been the better side so far. More shots, everything's been going our way so far, and that is good, and we need to keep doing it. But unfortunately, I just have this sneaky suspicion that they're going to score a long shot or something with Diego Costa. But another goal would be bloody good. We're actually looking better for once, and I might actually finally get my wish about us playing well against one of the big sides. Gomez. Wallace! Oh, good chance again. Really should have made that 2-0 there, Jed. You've been in good form, not so much this month, because obviously he's coming back from injury, but he's been in good form this season in general. Having one of his best seasons. I need to check to see whether he's hit the... oh, my life. What was that defense? Are you kidding me? What was that for defending? They just... I'm a little bit... Why are they just... Look at the space. I'm so confused right now. I've set my free kick instructions up to... That's so weird. Why have they done that? Where were all the players? So naturally, Chelsea have had one shot on target and they've scored it. Good stuff. I don't understand where my defenders were. I've got my free kick instructions set up quite well lately. We've not been conceding many from free kicks. Certainly not like that. And I don't know where most of the team were. I've got them set to man mark a lot of the time, and that was not man mark. I genuinely don't know what happened there, guys. I'm just so confused. So Chelsea have had one shot and they've scored it. Let's all be really surprised about that. We're going to have to go for this in the second half. I'm going to just go to control since we're playing better than them anyway. I'm going to try and dominate even more. Possession-wise, we aren't, but we're having more shots. So maybe if we can just be a little bit careful with it, but still be a bit more attack-focused and get some overlaps going, maybe. We deserve to win this based on what we've done so far in this game. We're having more... I can't believe that. If that's the only... Oh, my God. Let me guess. Another one. Did that just go straight through my fucking goalkeeper? Well, there we go, guys. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. What even happened there? Did it just go... What is it with free kicks today? Oh, well done. That's it. Back out. He actually moved out the fucking way. I give up with this game sometimes. Like, what can you do? I don't know what they're doing from free kicks, but it somehow seems to allow them to not be man-marked when I'm setting them to man-mark. Impressive. Admittedly, I would love to know how to do that. We are going to go on attacking now. Bloody hell. They've got us on set pieces today, I have to say. I'm so confused as to how we are losing this game. But I suppose, big team, you play a big team, you're going to lose. That's just what happens nowadays, isn't it? When you... it's so good. I'm so sick of it. It happens every time we play them. And it's disappointing. I'm having to bring him off. He's just not fit. I'm going to bring on Verstraeten though, because he's really shown me a lot lately. Actually, I might just make 2 subs now because we're on 71 minutes. Borja Gomez hasn't really shown much today, so it's going to... What the fuck is going on? I am so confused. Why is the game now in 87th minute? I paused it. Oh my God. What's happened now? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm so... What the fuck? When you click the make substitution button here, that pauses the game automatically, doesn't it? Well, it does normally. Oh, fuck me. Okay, well, never mind then. Well, we'll have to do it from this tactics menu instead, but it doesn't matter because it's not going to happen now, is it? Come on, we've just, somehow 17 minutes have just disappeared from the game. I don't know why it started moving again. I hit make substitution, which pauses the game. And don't say it doesn't, because it does. It automatically pauses it. Right. Okay. I guess take that off. I mean, I'm angry. Right now would be the probably the optimal word to use to describe my current state of being. We're going to bring on him as well, since we may as well make the substitutions now, since we've got no hope of doing anything else. I'm going to bring on Burrell as well. We may as well make a triple sub. We've only got 3 minutes left in the pissing game. I can't believe... I mean, they may have had loads of shots in that period, but would you really be surprised if they hadn't? No, they haven't. They've had 3 shots on target and they've scored 2 goals. Insane. Oh, for the love of Jesus. Are you really... Fuck me. I'm so angry right now. It's unbelievable. 2 fucking red cards. Are you serious? Well, I can't do anything about that, can I? So, when the game wants them to win, they'll win, basically. They've had 3 shots on target in the entire match, and they've had... I'm so confused. Also, I still don't understand why they're not being marked. I mean, obviously we've got 2 less players now, but they're both offside as well, which is really strange. I still don't know. That wall seems to have more players in than usual. Wow, that's a woeful free kick. But I'm quite angry, just because I don't understand what happened there. Like, we were doing totally fine in this game, and then they scored 2 goals with 2 shots on target. And then I tried to make some substitutions, and then the game decided to unpause while I was So we finished this game with 9 men and a 2-1 defeat, which I think is completely undeserved. Like, yeah, okay, they've had more clear-cuts in the end because they're playing against 9 men. Oh, of course. What a save. Like, okay, they've had those chances in the end, but they're playing against 9 men. Right, well, there you go, guys. That's what happens when you play against the big teams. Even if you're better than them, you still get fucked. So there we go. A 2-1 defeat at home to Chelsea, completely undeserved. And we've got now 2 suspensions as well, which is going to be just delightful going into the rest of the season. I'm still really annoyed about the fact that the most annoying thing about that wasn't the fact that obviously the fact that they scored with their first 2 shots on target, obviously, but the fact that it unpaused while I was trying to make substitutions. I'm certain that that pauses the game. It always has before. So we still ended up with more shots and more shots on target, etc., but we've lost because that's just what happens. So, we got QPR next. Well, we all know what's going to happen there. That being said, we did beat them earlier in the season, and they're not having the best season at the moment. They are in fact bottom, which, if anything, means we're probably going to lose to them by even more because... Right, okay, so we're still 3rd in the league, but it is going to get much tighter now, and we could end up being only a point ahead of Stoke now going into the next set of fixtures, and we're only 5 clear of Spurs at the moment. So it's still... And they have a game in hand, so they could actually go within 2 points of us now. So it is very, very... Oh, no, we've got the same amount of points as Spurs. So that's fine. We're still 5 points clear of dropping out the top 4. I'm just really angry at the way that month... Not the way the month's gone, but the way that game has finished has just been a very, very strange live com, shall we say. Everything just seemed to just not work for us in that game, and it was really, really irritating. Anyway, in the next episode, we will, of course, be playing against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League first leg. So we've got QPR away, Forest away in that time as well. Hopefully we can win both of those. And then we've got Chelsea at home in the Cup, which I assume we'll probably lose because it's Chelsea. And I will try that other system out in that game just because that's what I'm using in the Cup, just to see what happens. So there we go. Right, so if you like what you've seen, and I fucking haven't, then please drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and you can join us again in the next episode where we'll be playing against Bayer Leverkusen. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more things to be cheery about in that episode. I really hope so. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.